Hey everyone, so I've added some new things onto my Mercari. From time to time you all ask me about Mercari, so I just started making this cute little so that way you know what I have and that I do have on Mercari. So I have clothes, of course. You all saw my declutter last year. I need to do a part 2, so that should be coming soon, hopefully. Then of course there's my for my makeup. So I have plenty of makeup to show, but you can go over there and check once the video is over to see if there's anything you're interested in. But I just want to remind you that I do have one and there are things available. So check it out when you get a chance. Let's get into the video. What's up everyone? It's your girl, Gelbeauty-QM here, aka Grace Honey, and today we're going to get into a new makeup releases and a little bit of a why you don't need situation, because some of these palettes they came out with, they stopped playing with me. So if you like videos like this, if you like a good complexion video, y'all know I do quite a few complexion videos. They should be popping up over my face right now. I'm looking to get some of the new drugstore stuff, so hopefully I'll have that in the upcoming weeks. If you like a good fragrance video, y'all know I got some of those coming up too. I'm so excited that Fleur and Snif came out with new fragrances. The Snif Me fragrance is probably what I'm most excited about. I like a good Your Skin but better fragrance for like every day when I don't have to go out, and then I like a more sweet one when I'm going out to do stuff. So I can't wait to try that one out. Y'all know you can use code GRACE10 to get a discount on your purchase from Snif's website, so make sure you check that out. Then if you like a good fashion video, y'all know I do tons of fashion shorts at least twice a week, and I've done 3 long form fashion videos. I've done the one on TJ Maxx, since I go to TJ Maxx every week to give you what's new at TJ Maxx. I did one on this brand called Johansson. You all know I'm really a huge fan of. I like the uniqueness of the style of their clothing pieces. I'll have one in spring coming soon, stay tuned. And then of course, you know, I had to do one for the fashion forward girls who don't like to spend a whole bunch of coin on clothing, who want to have some nice layering pieces to go with their high-end things. So of course I did a lookbook on Forever 21. So if you like stuff like that, not to mention a good eyeshadow video, comment down below and tell me which eyeshadow you prefer. Do you prefer this side or this side? It's a video coming to you all soon. You all know I try to come up with a whole bunch of different eyeshadow content. Some of it should be popping up over my face right now. But if you like stuff like that, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Now on to today's video, honey. So I'm gonna try to say the why you don't need stuff toward the end of the video, so hold on for that. But let's get into some of these fragrances I found. So I found this one called Feel with Barahak. I hope I'm saying that right. It's supposed to be sweet, rich, and irresistible. It's called Tiramisu, and it's the dessert in a bottle that indulges as it sounds, or sorry, is as indulgent as it sounds. So the top notes are bold coffee and smooth amaretto. Now that's my concern, because remember, if you all remember, I tried the Josette brand of fragrances and they had a coffee one, and honey, the coffee was doing too much for me, so that's a concern. But this one has the heart notes of creamy vanilla, ice cream, and buttery biscuit. That sounds delicious. And then the base notes of brown sugar, golden amber, and luscious vanilla. So it sounds intriguing enough, but I don't think I would most likely pick it up, because from what I remember, the price was quite a bit. And you know, y'all know how I am when it comes to fragrance prices. I'm like, they high, and I need to try a travel size first. I'm not just going all in blind buy. I only blind buy from certain people, and it's far and few times I even do it from them. Like, I don't just blind buy from Huda. It's rare that I just blind buy, sorry, not Huda, from Kylie. It's rare that I blind buy from Kylie. I usually blind buy from like Snif. Occasionally I blind buy from Fleur and Kylie, but Snif is the one that for the majority of the time I would blind buy and, you know, not feel disappointed in it. But you know, newer brands I tend to take caution. So this one I probably have to pass, because I doubt they have like a travel size for me to try out. Next we have Chocolate Fondue. It's imagine a cake with flowing center where intense cocoa collapses into a chocolate lava, gently accompanied by exotic fruits and a drizzle of honey. It's a gourmet explosion that melts on the skin like comforting hot chocolate. So this one retails for $119 and it's available for purchase now. The heart notes are apple, pineapple, peach, coffee, and cocoa. That's interesting. Then the heart notes are magnolia, tuberose, leather, and honey. And then the base notes are amber, vanilla, tonka, sandalwood, and musk. So this one didn't even sound intriguing to me, and normally I'll be like, ooh, that sounds delicious, but I'm like, it just doesn't, you know, sound intriguing to me at all. So I'm kind of like, and that price point is not helping. Once they started talking about all the like leather and the tuberose and the you know, honey and stuff, I was kind of just like, I'm confused as to what cake smells like that, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm not interested. On to the next. So of course I told you all about me from Snif. It has launched. You can use my code GRACE10 and you can get a discount. That's the only place that I have a code that uses my name. Everywhere else is Gelbeauty or Gelbeauty87. But I'm so excited about this, y'all don't even understand, because I love a good fragrance like this. So I was just taken aback when they actually came out with a Your Skin But Better finally, because I feel like it was long overdue for them. They have a good amount of other things. It's like, I'm just like, well, where's the Your Skin But Better? Like, where is it? So it has finally arrived and I'm super excited. It came out on the 9th for anyone who's interested. So it has been out for a little while now. If you want to pick it up, make sure you go ahead and do so. Next we have Marshmallows from Ellis Brooklyn. Shout out to, what's her name? Jade. Remember I tried out her fragrance from Le Monde Gourmand. She posted on Lemonade about this, and that's how I found out about it. So the notes are lemon, peach skin, marshmallow, caramel, benzoid, vanilla orchard, patchouli, amberwood, and milky musk. It's supposed to come out on the 28th of January. And I'm like, I'm just confused by the notes, because it's like, it's called marshmallow, but it has like all these fruity notes to it. So I'm a tad bit confused, like with the lemon and peach skin. That's really like the part that's confusing me mainly, because I'm like, otherwise it sounded fine, but once you start putting fruity notes with marshmallows, I'm just confused. So this is one I would like go into Ulta or like Sephora and smell and see what's going on with it, if they have it available in store, because I'm like, I just don't know how I feel about that. That's quite interesting, and I don't know how to feel. So yeah, Patrick Ta has extended his shade range when it comes to his double take cream and powder blushes. And the thing with these is I feel like a lot of them look the same, and then he just adds like one pop of color that's different from all the other ones. Because like these three like neutrally nudie pink and like nude shades that are supposed to be like Your Skin But Better blushes feel like they look a lot similar to a lot of the other things he already has. So it's like, how many of these did I need, Patrick? Like, how many did we really need? The only one that looks interesting to me is like the bright red one there, but it's like I already have like the bright red one from Giorgio Armani, so it's like it's not really needed for me to pick up. And y'all know we had a whole discussion about Patrick Ta. If you watched that video, I should have the thumbnail pop over my face right now about that video and why I'm not personally really trying to purchase anything from Patrick Ta right now. I mean, it's a nice color. I know the formula would be nice, but it's just like you keep coming up with the same shades over and over and over again and adding one pop of color thinking I'm gonna be excited, and it's like somebody else already beat you to this pop of color. So it's like I don't care, for obviously more reasons than the fact that I already have the same color, but it's like I just don't care. So yeah, but Robert Welsh did an actually excellent video on a few of the brands that I've talked to you all about, and some of my eyeshadow palette videos are just videos I do makeup in general when I'm getting ready. So make sure you check out his video. I'll try to remember to link it down below, but I've done a video on all the stuff he talked about. So I did one on Inslee Rain, Glam Light, and Patrick Ta. But needless to say, I'm not picking this up. I'm not judging if you are, but I'm gonna just be upfront with you. Me right here. Me right here. We're not doing that. No. Patrick can keep it. He can have a great day and be blessed, and he can keep it. I personally just don't want it. Next we have Charlotte Tilbury extending the shade range of her Hollywood contour wands finally. So there's like I believe these two darker shades on the bottom are the only newer ones. But you know, that's still good, because you know, darker people would like to have a shade to try. I would actually try one of the deeper shades, just because the deepest one I feel like isn't that deep. I feel like it's fine for me now in the wintertime, but I feel like in the summertime I have to get a different one. My only issue with that is I already have the ones from Makeup by Mario that I really like, and then Elf came out and duped the ones from Makeup by Mario, and I tried the one from Say, so it's like it's not a necessity to me, and I don't like the way it comes out of the packaging. Plus they tend to not put that much in the packaging because they know you can't see how much is in there, and it's like a lot of air in there with the product, or at least I've noticed with those products a lot of people say there's a lot of air in them, and it's not that much product in there. So with that being said, I would skip on it just for that reason alone. I'm not saying you should skip on it if you want to try it and want to have that experience. That's fine. I'm just saying why I plan on skipping on it, because I have all those other ones to choose from and it's just not like a priority on my list. So I plan on skipping it because I haven't even finished the first one I bought, and I still need to compare it to the one from Essence to see how they're gonna compare. So it's just a pass. It's just a pass. Next we have some brushes from Simply Posh Cosmetic. They came out with a 10-piece brush set, eyeshadow brush set. It has a nice amount of brushes in it. These are the type of brushes I would use for the most part. It's only a couple in there that well, it's literally one in there I wouldn't use, like that really thin one, but I feel like it would be good for cutting the crease when I put on my glitter glue, so maybe I would use it. So this looks like a nice 10-piece set. Y'all know I usually stick to Sigma brushes though, or BK Beauty brushes, or I use my Blend Bunny brushes, or the Made by Mission ones are good as well. So those are just some of the ones I use, and you know, like I prefer my Sigma brushes. I've been using Sigma since I first started in makeup, so if these went on a good deal I would perhaps pick them up, but I'm not gonna go out my way to get them just because, you know, I love me a good Sigma moment. Like I use Sigma brushes to do this eye look I have on now. Like I just usually tend to stick to my Sigma brushes, but I think it's nice that other brands are coming out with brushes, especially you know, if they can give you a more affordable option, take it. But I'm just gonna, you know, pass. Next we have the Glaminatrix Cosmetics brushes that they're coming out with. So they have a set of eye brushes as well. Now these eye brushes, there's less brushes I would use in here for sure. I'm already seeing like, let's see, 1, 2, I see like at least 2 brushes in here I wouldn't use, and I prefer to buy sets where I would use the majority of them. So if I had to choose between these and the Simply Posh ones, I would probably get the Simply Posh ones. I don't plan on getting either brush set though, just because, like I said, I have so many brushes. Y'all saw me declutter brushes. If you remember, you saw my brush declutter that I did with you on how I reorganize the brushes to work out for when I make videos. But I don't know, I love Glaminatrix, and I can't wait to see what eyeshadow palettes they come out with. They actually have another one coming up soon. We'll talk about that in a second. But I don't know, I just am not on the market for brushes. Brushes is more of my homie bestie Dionluvsmakeup thing, so like maybe she would be interested in them, but I'm just like, I'll pass on the brushes. Like I'll pass. They are talking about they're bringing back the Nearly Natural palette. If you all remember, that was the one I said was a good dupe for the Luna Beauty and what do you call it, Laura Lee Los Angeles collab palette. It was a good alternative to that palette, so I feel like this would be good for people who want to get their hands on that palette and didn't. It's going to be 20 pans this time though, so they added 5 more pans because it was originally 15. It said it's still in production, so we'll have to wait and see. It said it'll still have all the original shades of the Nearly Natural palette minus 2 shades. So I'm wondering what those 2 shades are. I'm hoping it's not the cool fun green shades, because I feel like those fun green shades they added in, they kind of made it like unique to some of the other palettes you see out here when it comes to neutrals and mauves. The greens definitely made it unique. So hopefully it's not like Natasha where she did the golden palette, the gold palette over and called it golden and then took the fun shades out. I'm hoping that's not what's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see. I am interested, and I might end up picking it up just to compare it to the older one I already have. Next we have this Beauty Bay Smooth Blur Hydrating Pore Perfecting Blurring Primer. So I'm wondering if this is just to be their version of Blur Jam, because I noticed a lot of people are duping Blur Jam from Huda Beauty now, since she got rid of Glow Wish and just put it in a different container. I'm wondering if that's what this is supposed to be. I don't necessarily plan on picking it up. I would be interested to see if someone does. I'm gonna see if Karen Harris picks it up and tries it out, because I am curious to see, is it supposed to be a dupe for Blur Jam or is it not? Or is it supposed to be, I don't think it's supposed to be a dupe for Natasha, what is it, the silk canvas in the balm form. I don't think it's a dupe for that. I'm not sure though, but I am interested. It's just I'm not interested enough to purchase it. That makes any sense. I found a couple more fragrances to talk about. So I have been wanting to try this brand for quite a while, but they're just so expensive and it's so tiny till I'm just like, I can't. But they have this Latte Pistachio. The brand's called New Notes. It says Latte Pistachio is a luxurious and indulgent fragrance that blends the creamy warmth of a frothy latte with the rich nutty essence of pistachio. So it definitely sounds intriguing, and I can definitely see myself wanting to pick it up in the future, but as of right now I wouldn't pick it up. I don't even think it's out yet from what I saw when I went to look on Makeup on Your Radar. But yeah, I definitely want to try this brand one day. It's just they're so tiny and I feel like they're so high till I'm just like, we need some more coin before we start trying to explore them, just because it's high. It's high. I'm not gonna front. Then we have this new Morally Grey eyeshadow palette and Morally Grey highlighter from Beaute Bar. I do have a link for Beaute Bar down below for anyone interested in purchasing from them. But I'm interested to see what the palette looks like, because as you can see, it's not giving too much of an idea. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be kind of like the Millennial Pinks from Melt, because it looks like it's supposed to be like a Valentine's Day palette. So I feel like that'd be cool, and if they had like a gray to like trophy wife shifting or white gold shifting highlighter that was supposed to be Morally Grey, I think that would be like a cool twist to put on this. But I'm interested to see what the inside looks like. I'm hoping it's like a fun twist to the Millennial Pinks palette, because I thought Millennial Pinks was unique in its own right, and I think that would be fun for someone else to do. But it's like I'd rather had pinks and purples and reds and then some pops of green, and I feel like that'd have been cooler than the way they did it with just pink and gray, and like that was it from what I remember. It's been a while ago since I had the palette in its original form. Y'all know I changed mine around, so I don't know, but I'm interested to see what it's gonna look like. Y'all know I love Beaute Bar, so I'm excited to see what comes of that. Oh, also let's talk about this other fragrance. Sorry, y'all. So there's Nude Skin from Skye. So I guess everybody's deciding they're gonna come out with their Your Skin But Better fragrances, because I feel like Skye doesn't have a Your Skin But Better fragrance. Don't quote me though, because I'm not 100% sure on that. But it's part of the Fresh family, and it's a fresh solar, so I guess it's not a Your Skin But Better vibe. It has tiger, orchid, warm vanilla, and golden amber as the notes to this fragrance. I don't know how I feel about those notes, but you know, to each his own. I don't personally plan on picking up this fragrance just because I'm like, I don't see any interest in it. It comes out on the 17th for anyone who was interested in it though, so keep a lookout for it at Sephora. I think you get early access, or it might just be out on the actual 17th. L'Oreal has these Plump Ambition Hyaluron lip oils, 24-hour care with hyaluronic acid. They didn't have this up last week when I checked, but it's up now for anyone who's interested. I could see myself possibly trying this if I can find like a high-end version to compare to see what the difference is supposed to be. I haven't seen any that have hyaluron in them though. I'm wondering if the one from Makeup by Mario does. I need to look into that, because if it does, they have a brown shade that matches the one I plan on purchasing from Makeup by Mario, and then maybe we could try that out. They are new to Ulta's website for anyone who's interested. I need to fill up my cart with drugstore stuff from there and just go ahead and check out. So I plan on doing that like sometime next week, and then maybe like before the end of January gets here we can have something done. But you know, have to wait and see. So Miss Bad Gal Riri finally decided she needed to give us a setting spray. So it's supposed to extend makeup wear up to 12 hours. It's supposed to be waterproof, humidity, sweat, and transfer resistant, and provide a shield effective against pollution. It's supposed to be alcohol and fragrance free, and it's supposed to have wild thyme extract providing all day hydration. It comes out on the 17th. I don't know if Sephora's gonna get early access and they're gonna let it go on the 16th to Rouge, and then on the 17th everyone else will get their hands on it, or what exactly. But I do definitely plan on getting my hands on it. Of course, we have to try it out. We have to see how it compares to some of the other setting mists we have based upon what it says versus what other setting mists say. So I'm excited to try that out and see. I'm so excited that Copacetic Cosmetics has something else coming out, because they have the Arctic Horizons. I told you all when I went to that beauty and polish expo that they had come back, and the owner said they were almost gonna close down like permanently because of mental health she had going on. So I'm so glad that she came back and they're like actively posting again. I follow them, but for some reason I don't get any of their posts, so I was, you know, confused by that. But you know, anyway, they have these shades. Aurora Bloom, which is supposed to be the lavender one. It's supposed to have a blue to purple shift. Then they have Polar Petals. It's supposed to be a shimmery pink with gold and pink shimmers. Then Lunar Ice, which is gray silver with white shimmers. That sounds interesting. Then Frozen Glimmer, which is icy green with green shimmers. And Celestial Tides, which is semi-iridescent blue with blue shimmers. And they're $2 each available now. So I would pick up the Lunar Ice one just because I think it's a unique gray silver with white shimmers in it. That definitely sounds unique and fun to me. But you know, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm trying to be more budget conscious when it comes to buying stuff than I normally am, because normally I feel like I just be out here buying anything they didn't nail down. I'm just like, yes, give it to me. And I'm like, we're trying to be better, we're trying to do better, we're trying to calm down. So Wicked Widow Beauty decided to tell us that they're teaming up with American Psycho. I feel like they're on their, like, who do you call it, era? Their glam light era now, where they're just giving us all these all these collaborations with like licensed products, which I'm not necessarily mad at, but you know, like, I just don't want them to overdo it like Glam Light does, and then, you know, everybody be irritated. But this is only their second one that I know of, so it's not too bad. They don't show anything yet, so I'm not exactly sure what it's going to look like, so we'll just have to wait and see for that. Okay, y'all, so last conflicting thing we have to talk about. ABH decided they need to pop their heads back in and come out with this impeccable blurring second skin matte foundation. Is $46. I'm not sure if it's already out yet or not. The part I clipped, it doesn't say. It just says flawless skin all day impeccable, and I'm just like, okay, so you see the shades. I don't know if this is all the shades, but it looks like there's a somewhat decent shade range. I still feel like the deeper shades are somewhat lacking when it comes. Hopefully this isn't all the shades that they have stacked up here, because the deeper shades are definitely lacking. And I'm just kind of like, But you know, maybe somebody will be excited about it. I haven't bought anything from ABH in God knows how long. I'm not even really trying to entertain ABH at all, so I just kind of am like, oh, okay, that's nice, you made something, that's cute. But I personally won't be purchasing it just because it's not of interest to me. So, you know, to each his own, whatever. Now let's get into these palettes, because the rest is going to be nothing but palettes. So we have the Divinity palette. What's the name of this brand? That's by Divani Beauty, I believe is the name of the brand. And it says the palette will be $64 US and $57.60 with anybody's PR code or discount code. So you see the color story here. I don't know, the color story just isn't really doing it for me. It just looks like they added a couple of purple and pink shades to the Gemini palette from Melt, and it's just not impressing me. So I personally don't plan on picking it up, but you know, it's a to each his own type thing. I'm not intrigued by the color story of it. I liked that mermaid palette, was Sea Currency or something they had come out with earlier, but again, I had color stories similar. I gave you all a why you don't need on it, so I didn't feel the need to, you know, like go to that again or whatever. But you know, to each his own. Now we're gonna get into the why you don't need portion of the video, because honey, they out here playing with me. They out here playing with me. They out here playing with me. So we got the Nomad Esprit Ski palette that's supposed to be coming out. I didn't take when it actually comes out, so my bad. But it literally just launched, or they literally just showed the color story in full when I was sitting down to film this video, so I had to make sure I showed it to you all. But does this remind you of anything? Because to me, it's just like they got rid of that the Whistler Snow Lodge to replace it with this. Because it's like you had these blues and these greens in that palette. So you just took out the gold and like the little red section and replaced it with purple. Like, you gave me this palette once. You just giving it to me again and adding purple. So anybody who has a blue, green, and purple palette already doesn't need this. Like, you can use Aurora Struck from, Aurora Lights from Simply Posh Cosmetics and get a similar effect with this palette. Now you're not gonna get as much of each set because they have 6 of each color story set up, but I'm like, you can get a similar look with any blue, green, or purple palettes you already own. Like you can use the Land of Enchantment from Inslee Rain and use code Dionlove, I believe it's 10. It's Dionlove 10 or Dionlove 15 and get a discount on buying that if you're interested. I mean, I have so many blue, green, and purple palettes, so it's like, this isn't exciting to me. I'm still gonna pick it up because of course I love a blue, green, and purple palette, but like there's so many blue, green, and purple palettes that already exist that you don't need this. If Nina has her mock-up ready before I edit this video, I'll put it up right here. But yeah, like there's quite a few blue, green, and purple palettes you can use that you don't need this. So I already have a why you don't need video plan set up in mind to add this to, just because I'm like, I don't need it, you don't need it, we don't need it. If you love a blue, green, purple palette moment, then you definitely are on the right channel for why you don't need. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that when I do the why you don't need later on this week, you'll see it and you won't be tempted to buy it. Because they usually launch their palettes, I think like, they'll tell you on a Saturday, and then like on a Monday, the palette will launch on Monday or Tuesday. So I'm gonna try to make sure that I film it Sunday so that way I can have it up for Monday when the palette launches, to stop your temptation for picking it up. But yeah, you just don't need it, girl. You don't need it, I don't need it, we don't need it. I'm a bad, but I need it. So the next why you don't need palette we have is this one from ColourPop, the New Moon. So I guess they're doing like all the Twilight movies, and like the first one was the original Twilight, then there's this New Moon. My whole thing is this New Moon palette looks really similar to like other stuff that already exists, and as usual, shout out to my girl Nina, she made a whole mock-up of the stuff it looks similar to. Like she put up the what palette is this? She put up one from Leather and Lace, I believe it is, from Unearthly, and then she put up the Nomad palette, with the Hudson Valley palette here. But I'm like, there's a few palettes that I feel like it looks really similar to. So I'm like, I don't feel like this palette was really necessary. I don't know, like it kind of gives me the vibes of another one that they had already come out with. Oh, Just a Taste from Unearthly as well, she put up here that's really similar to it. And it is, like if you knock off like the purple little corner that they have, you could use your Just a Taste palette from Unearthly Cosmetics and you wouldn't need to get this. Or if you wanted brighter versions of the colors in this palette, you can just use the Hudson Valley palette. So make sure y'all follow Nina over on Instagram if you like palette comparisons and stuff like this, because she definitely has the mock-ups and she gets them up quickly and in a hurry. Okay, so shout out to Nina for doing so, because honey, there so many people just out here trying to take your coin and give you the same palette 50 times over. Like this looks similar to another palette I own and I just can't think of the name of it at this time, but I'm telling y'all, like it's so many palettes that this is similar to. So it's just like, what do I need this for? Like I don't need this. So I'm not a Twilight person either, so it doesn't call to me. Aside from the fact that it's a warm tone palette, that's another reason it doesn't call to me. Like it's just not for me at all. So that's an easy pass. Then we have the Dexter palette from Lethal Cosmetics and the Dexter collection. So this is the full collection here. You have the eyeshadow palette and a few, I think these are lip glosses or lip oils, I'm not 100% sure. They have a brush set and I believe they have a body highlighter, and it looks like some nail polishes as well. I just screenshotted the part about the palette because y'all know me, I was excited about the palette. But this palette just kind of reminds me of the one that ColourPop came out with recently. You know, the Stranger Things one that they had 50% off during the holidays. It looks like the Stranger Things one without the fun like pops of like color in it. Because you see you got the reds, you got these deeper toned grayish and black shades. You could pull out your, what is it, the Glam Light Freddy Krueger palette and get this a similar color story. It's not gonna be exact, but it would be similar. You could pull out your what is it, the Waiting Room palette. It's not Waiting Room, sorry, what's the other one, the gray and black and red palette from Melt and Beetlejuice, and you'd have the same color story. So it's like, it's a lot of color stories I already have that are giving the same vibe. So like, what is the real purpose of this other than you being a Dexter fan and wanting it? Plus I don't necessarily like the way the packaging is set up on this either. So this one is a pass for me. I haven't bought anything from Lethal Cosmetics in quite a while, which I'm shocked about because y'all know they're one of my favorite brands. But I don't know, like their color stories just aren't aligning with me lately. If you have the what is that palette? The Nomad Valentine's Day palette, the Verona palette, I believe is what it was called. Then you have similar colors to this. So it's like, I feel like there are plenty of palettes that already have the similar color story. It's like, I don't need this. So I just, you know, I respectfully decided to not, I'm respectfully decided to not pick it up, just because the color story isn't something that's really calling to me, and I already have plenty of palettes. So, you know, it's not a need, if you will, for lack of a better term. So just wanted to give y'all some ideas on those. Then we have this Simply Posh Cosmetics Snow Angels collection. It has lippies and blushes. So it has 3 lip glosses, 3 liquid blushes, and of course the eyeshadow palette. My whole thing is, this is just another version of the Frosty the Snowman palette from ColourPop. So if you wanted a deeper version of the Frosty the Snowman palette from ColourPop, then I feel like this would be good for you. But again, ColourPop had like 50% off recently. So it's like, you really need this? Or it's just like a more like white toned or white based pastel-y version of that Fairy Tales Fairy palette that they came out with a while ago, because that's definitely what it gives me. It's like a white based version of that, if that made any sense. Like, you know, the white undertones in the base of the eyeshadow, it just gives like a version of that with a whiter base tone underneath it. Or it's like a lighter version of their Aurora Lights palette, because that has a lot of these same colors in it. This is just like the pastel version of that. So I'm like, I don't feel the need to have this, because I feel like I already have tones that are similar to this. I would just pull out my Mercury Retrograde palette from what's his name, Neon MUA, and use that. So this isn't necessary for me, but I named some other palettes for you that might be more affordable in your price point, if you don't want to spend this price point but still get these same colors. Not to mention, I have palettes from Lethal that have brighter tones, like that After Dark palette. It has some pastel-y tones to it. So I have other palettes that already have pastels in them that I feel like would fill the void for this. So I personally don't plan on picking it up, but to each his own. I do like their formula, and if it went on a decent sale, I might still consider picking it up, just because I do like the brand. But like, just off it being brand new, I wouldn't personally pick it up. Then you have the Plastics palette. That was the name of this palette, right? Like the plastic palette from Blend Bunny. Now this palette, to me, when I saw the packaging, it just reminded me of that, was the Marielle girl who had a palette with ColourPop a while ago. It really gave me the vibes of that palette for Marielle and Too Faced. It looks like her Too Faced palette, not her ColourPop palette, my bad. But it really gives the vibes of that, because it just has some pinks and like a little bit of red and like some neutrals. And I feel like that's what she did with her palette. So if you already have the Marielle and Too Faced palette, I don't feel like you need this. I personally don't plan on picking it up. Plus I have pink palettes that actually have more pink to them than this, and this one kind of disappointed me because there's not that much pink. I mean, I understand what they wanted to do with it and the vision behind it, just based upon like the pictures that she put up, but I just personally am a little disappointed, because like, I don't know, when I expect stuff from them, I expect more of like bright, fun, colorful stuff, and I feel like they did one of those half colorful, half neutral things. I understand why, because obviously people need to be able to use their palette for multiple purposes. Like, you want to be able to wear it to work, but you still want to be able to wear it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get all that, but it's like when you're known for color and then you start trying to give me half colorful, half neutral, I'm not gonna be as excited for what you're coming out with. And that's how I feel when it comes to this. It kind of let me down. I'm kind of disappointed. So I feel like there's a lot of palettes that already look like that on the market, so I can respectfully decline and not want to be bothered with it. Now this new murky metal palette from Unearthly, I was confused as to why they came out with it. It's like, did you forget you came out with this, what was it, the smoky whatever palette they have, the something about a sorcerer or something? It looks just like that. It's like she did what Mandy did with his like bigger palette. She just made 9 pans of the bigger ones, because the other one we're gonna talk about, I feel like she has a similar color story to it too, and she just made a 9 pan out of it instead. So I don't know, but to me this is just a smaller version of her palette. But shout out to Nina, she gave you all these suggestions up here. She has the Undergrowth palette. I'm assuming this one underneath the Undergrowth palette from Cosmic Beauty is it looks like it should be a Clarity Cosmetics one. I didn't get the wording at the bottom, I just clipped the picture. Then there's this one from, who do you call it, Sigma And I forgot what the last two were. I'm sorry. I think this one's Juvia's Place that's underneath the Clarity one. Don't quote me. But it's just really similar to a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm personally not interested in it. But to each his own, you know. But yeah. Plus it kind of gives me the vibes of like a cooler tone version of the Earth palette from Melt when they had that Zodiac collection come out too. So it's just a lot of palettes that look really similar to this. I mean, I could go on. We could talk about the Yucca palette. And we could talk about the what is it, the Ace Beauty Tropical Vibes palettes. So it's like there's a lot of palettes that look like this already, including palettes from the brand itself. That's why I was confused as to what hole this was supposed to fill, other than people not liking bigger palettes and wanting to have a smaller one, and that was the purpose of it. Because it's like, otherwise I really don't get why this was made. But like I said, I'm not here to judge. I'm just trying to give you alternatives, especially if you already own stuff from the brand, because I feel like it's just similar to that palette I just named. Then when it came to this one, I was like, this one kind of gives me the vibes of, what was the Dreamer one that, I think it was called Dreamer? Didn't she have like a Dreamer collection or something where it was like deep purples and like these type of mauve-ish tones? So this Shadowed Petal is just similar to that palette. So I don't see why you're supposed to want this one. It gives me like, you know, vibes of the Rose Quartz palette from Ulta Beauty. And I just don't personally feel the need to pick it up because I already have palettes that have these similar color stories. So if you wanted a 9-pan though, I guess it would be good for that. I think both of these ship in March of 2025. I believe that's what the page said. Don't quote me, but I feel like that's what it said. So that's what I'm going with. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from buying it. I'm just, you know, telling you there are alternatives that I feel like already exist that you might already have before you get excited and just want to go out and buy this, because I feel like it's not really needed for you to purchase. So okay, y'all, so that's all I had to talk about in this video. That was enough though, right? Goodness, I feel like I've been sitting here a good 30 minutes at least. But comment down below, let me know, are you safe from purchasing this week? I feel like I'm not, because Fenty decided they need to launch a setting spray, and then a couple of other things interested me. So I'm not safe, but you know, like I told you all last week, because I'm a creator, I feel like majority of the time I'm not gonna be safe, because if it's something that's interested that I feel like you'll be interested in, then you know I have to bite the bullet and get it sometime. I'm trying to be better at like selecting when it comes to biting the bullet and doing that stuff though. So hopefully, you know, I'll be safe in the future weeks to come, but this week I am not safe. Comment down below, let me know if you're safe. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe. The membership is down below if you like more lifestyle content, vlogs, you know, couponing, cooking, and organization videos. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye. The fun doesn't have to stop here. Let's be friends over on Instagram to check out the latest fashion, fragrance, eyeshadow looks, and palette comparisons, along with little glimpses into my everyday life. Make sure you follow me over on Instagram. I can't wait to see you guys over there, and I hope you have a great day. See you over on Instagram, girl.